Hi, my name is Deja Jones, and today I'm going to give my inspirational speech. After thinking about who I can write about, who inspires me, I thought about myself. I believe that my story and my journey is very inspirational, and I sometimes have to remind myself of how far I came. So, my inspirational speech is going to be about me. It's called My Journey to Philadelphia. Despite my trials and tribulations, I knew I deserved more out of life, and I was determined to get it, leaving behind all things I knew in exchange for the life I deserved. Growing up in a single parent home had its ups and downs. However, it taught me how to be independent, strong, and to pursue what I wanted to do without the effects of what other people thought about me. While I was growing up in high school, my mom had her second episode. She was diagnosed with bipolar when I was in the sixth grade. It kind of shook my world up because she was my best friend, and it's like something's changed in her eyes, and it was like I was not talking to the same person that I once knew, who once raised me. Going through high school, it was very difficult having a mom at home with bipolar and dealing with the things that we dealt with at home. It eventually turned into poverty. My mom wasn't able to work and to provide for me as she wanted to. So I had to get it on my own. During high school, I ran track for 3 years, and during my fourth year, I had to tell my coaches that I could no longer run because I had to actually take on the responsibility of paying bills at a young age. High school did not prepare me for the real world. In essence, all they would talk about is college and, getting to that second part, because that would be the foundation for your adulthood. And because my dreams were shattered, because I had to take care of my household, school was out of reach for me, and I felt like I could not obtain those goals that was once placed in front of me like all my other peers and counterparts. Sorry. Brown broke girl. My mom's work ethic before she was diagnosed with bipolar was very, very rigid, strategic. She knew exactly what job she wanted to work, how she wanted to work them, and based on the lifestyle that we lived. My mom did not, she didn't, I'm sorry. She taught me not to worry about materialistic things. I'm sorry, I'm getting very emotional. Because that's not what mattered. What mattered is to appreciate what you had at the moment, so that when you do get things that you want to achieve, you appreciate them even more. My last year of high school, I started my first waitressing job at Johnny Rockets. During that time, the economy was booming, and I could legit bring home $1,000 to $2,000 every 2 weeks. For me, not seeing that money before, I knew how to budget because my mom taught me. However, I didn't know what to do with the extra money, so I would spend frivolously and not think about my future. Living in poverty forced me to work over education. So school was always let on the back burner. However, I knew that I wanted to get to school. So as I started working at Johnny Rockets, it eventually turned into working at Chili's, and it was kind of like a spiral effect, and I worked at multiple fast food jobs. But in between, I tried to fit school in there because that's a goal that I wanted to obtain. After trying to work or attempting to work 2 full-time jobs and go to school, it failed. And instead of me picking myself back up and trying it again, I became addicted to money. where I would work from sun up to sundown. Even on my days off, I would try to pick up extra shifts for other people because I felt like if I couldn't get an education, money would be the next best thing. So the next thing was I knew that college wouldn't work, and some people said, what about a trade? Try a trade. So I went to Artistic Academy for skincare and aesthetics, where I believed I was going to become a makeup artist. I wasn't so infatuated with the vanity of makeup. I knew that I wanted to give back. So I said, I'm going to learn how to do makeup to help victims with burns and scars. I was in school, almost close to graduation and getting my certification, and financial aid sent a letter to me stating that they would not cover it because it's a trade. So they sent all of my financial aid back, and now here I am sitting with almost $4,000 bill. I knew that I wanted to complete it, so I constantly picked up these extra shifts. I set up an account separate for my schooling just so it wouldn't interfere with any other monies. And lo and behold, my wages got garnished. I'm so sorry. I didn't think this was going to be so hard. My wages were garnished, and I was at the bottom again. After this, I was completely defeated, and I felt like me being at Chili's was not going to benefit my life and what I wanted to do. So I left there and opened up a new cheesecake factory in Shore Hills Mall. And I was told I was guaranteed money, the same amount of money that I used to make at Chili's, and that's what sold me. So lo and behold, I go and I work at the Cheesecake Factory, but I was kind of at my wit's end. I no longer wanted to serve. I no longer had the spark in me to chase money. I wanted something more than that. It was one day I was punching in an order at the computer, the POS, and I looked to the right of me, and I worked with a coworker named Felicia. Now, Felicia and I were the same height, same complexion. We had the same short haircut. And however, Felicia was 25 years older than me. And something sparked in my spirit and said, if you don't get it together, you are going to be here in 20 years. And in that moment, I said, I'm done with everything in New Jersey. I am going to take my savings and I'm going to move to Philadelphia. And I did just that. 2 weeks later, I shared with all my friends that I am moving to Philadelphia. I had set up appointments and interviews to work in Philadelphia, and I was off in 2 weeks. Upon my arriving to Philadelphia, I was going to start my first day at TD Bank as a bank teller. The same day I was supposed to walk in was the same day I was fired because of a record that I had in New Jersey that I knew nothing about. Defeated once again, but I did not let that keep me down. After that, I got with a lawyer and I figured it out. I got my record expunged after spending $2,500. I applied to so many jobs and nothing was working for me. But there was a light at the end of the tunnel. My first job was working for White Manor Country Club. And there I learned how another side of serving, and it was more high end, which kind of added to my resume. And it kind of just boosted my esteem, and I got better. From White Manor Country Club, I worked at Vision Quest as a community backer. And after that, I worked at Horizon House with mental behavioral health and mentally ill patients. And it was great. And now that got me into a better position to market myself. And now I work for the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. In 4 years, I've been promoted to pre-cert coordinator and behavioral health scheduler. And I'm just really proud of myself. During that time, I also re-enrolled in school. So now this is my final year of school. I finally made it. I can't believe how far I've come, but I appreciate where I am today. So in conclusion, although we go through things in life, Don't give up on yourself and don't give up on your dreams. If you keep pushing and you keep pressing, eventually it will all come together. Thank you so much for listening to my testimony and my journey to Philadelphia. I'm just proud of myself, and I hope that this inspires you to just keep trying and keep pressing, because eventually it'll all work out. Thank you.